We have a visitor in the shop. We got the Dirty 30 all the way from the other side of the world. This truck belongs to 24/7 four-wheel drive. Particular Shauno. This is his personal rig, epic build. This is a 60 series, it's been chopped in half, therefore it's called the 30. So now it's been here kind of chilling at our warehouse for the last couple of months. 24/7 guys did an epic US tour last year. They will be back for some more. So, but before they take this truck another run, we're gonna be doing some maintenance on this thing. Now, why is this truck here at our shop? As you remember, last year these guys give us a visit on their way to the Rubicon. So yes, this truck ran the Rubicon along with a couple other trucks from their group. Now, it took a beating. As you know, Rubicon is a pretty intense trail. This thing went through its paces. I think at one point he even laid it on the side.
Very committing line.
After that, I went to Moab, did the entire Moab trip, which is pretty epic. So highly recommend, check out their channel, see what those guys are up to. So while it's here, we're gonna be doing some maintenance on the truck. So let's see what's going on with it, and let's kind of address some of the issues that's wrong with this truck right now. So after going through rocks in the Rubicon, I had a couple loose parts. So the wheel bearings were pretty loose. The trunnion bearings, we tightened those up. Panhard bar was all over the place. So when I took this thing for a spin, it was not driving very well. One of the things that we want to address here is particularly it's the stability. So this truck has got a lot of weight. I mean, it's got a full mid-alloy camper, well, mid-alloy tray, a bunch of stuff in the back, a bunch of overland gear. We got a bunch of fuel. We have spares. I mean, it may be small, but it still weighs quite a bit. So we're gonna make sure this thing drives better than ever. Let's go in the back. So the suspension that was on this truck was kind of an experimental set. So we sent it back to Australia for the have them take a look at. So hopefully we'll get that thing back to install back in this truck. After going through the Rubicon, it took a little beating. So this is the sway bar that's in the back. As you can tell, it's supposed to be straight. It's no longer straight. So we're gonna give this thing a fix, make sure it's nice and tidy, fixed properly, and we're gonna do a nice little stiffy, nice little gusset, make sure this thing stays in place. This truck is pretty sick, dude. Pretty sick. Check out the four-link. So it's a 60 series that's sitting on 80 series frame. So LandCruiser 80, you have the factory re-axle, triangulated four-link in the back, so no panhard bar. The fuel tank was relocated. It's usually on the side, but it was relocated in order to run the bar, so now it sits in the back, a massive 40-gallon tank. You know what I learned from Aussies? I think I'm gonna do this on next builds. Check this out. So when you have like a rock crawler, it's kind of a challenge to get that thing on the rack because they're so big, they're heavy, they got links all over the place, so it's hard to get how to get these arms underneath it. So check this out. A dedicated mount just to lift the truck in the rack. How cool is that?
Nice, yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna take that one home with me. Well, 80 series axle. I believe this is all Superior Engineering, which is top of the line components from Australia. It's what everybody wants. Unfortunately, we don't have them here in the US. Oh, this is kind of cool. It's a Nissan box, steering box. Hoyo, Japan. Not a LandCruiser box. Look how big that thing is. It's like an Alpha semi-truck. Just for reference, look at my hand. Now, the steering box is on the wrong side for some reason. It's usually on that side. It's on the wrong side.
Wonder why.
Yeah, what powers this thing? Big fat diesel Toyota engine in the front, 100 series transmission, and I believe it's a 70 series transfer case. So it's got like a... Oh my God. I know, dude. What the f? So it's got a whole hybrid of a drivetrain, but it all works, and it drives quite a great actually. All right, what do we do in the front? So rear already has a sway bar. The front end is gonna get our good old anti-rock bar, made here, made in USA. We're putting that thing in the front. Yeah, anti-rock, it's like as American as it gets. Yeah. Where are we gonna fit this thing? So the plan is we're gonna run this thing right in front of the body mount.
Oh gosh.
Through the frame. So it's kind of tight there, but through the frame, so it's sleeved, it's gonna come out, and we'll have some R's going up and connect down to the panhard bars mount. So hopefully we'll have enough strength here to keep it in place, but we've done this before on the customer's truck, so we're just gonna do it again on this truck. Being an 80 series frame, we do a bunch of 80 series work, so it should be a piece of cake.
Should be.
The boys are on their way here from Australia. We got a couple of trips planned with them, so we have no time to wait, so let's get to it. thing cut out. I want to show you guys what we're working with here. So this is the custom made on the Rubicon trail. So as you can tell, it took a beating. A lot of ledges coming down this thing. So the actual housing for the sway bar is whack. So let me show you this. That's another thing right here. So this thing is, well, let's see if it rolls. No roll. So anyway, so we're not gonna be using this bar. It's just too out of whack. So we're gonna be going with the set from Anti-Rock. Speaking of Anti-Rock, let me show you what we're doing in the front. Okay, so this is the Anti-Rock universal kit. So this is the kind of kit that's designed to be put under pretty much anything you want. So it has these steel arms. Now we are going to be modifying these arms, cutting them, bending them, and actually reinforcing them to make sure nothing fatigues while it's under flex in the front. So being a universal kit, it has everything you need to install this. We did kind of spike it up a little bit. We're going to be running these double shear mounts in the front. So these guys are going to go here. Just a stronger connection at the sway bar to prevent any sort of fatigue side to side. Now, let me show you what we've done so far. So this is a little tricky because there's not a lot of room in the front. As with most solid axle suspensions, not a lot of room in the front to run a sway bar. So to make this happen, we decided to run it directly through the frame, through the cross member, all throughout it, come out from the other side. So this is what's going to allow us to clear all the steering components, the steering box, as well as the body mount itself. We did have to clearance this guy in order to make room, but otherwise the bar is going to go directly through it, come around, we're going to bend this thing out and connect down at the axle right here. So we'll have a couple of tabs coming off the side. Sway bar going this way. Actually, let me show you. Now, you can tell this is a flat bar. We got all sorts of shapes going on here. So this is what I was talking about. We're going to bend this thing out and make sure everything clear. So now this is something similar that we did to our buddy Jose FJ80. A shout out to his Epic 80 series. So he didn't have a sway bar in the front. We made it happen. Very similar to what we're doing here. I do want to show you the existing sway bar setup. So this is what you get on the 80 series. So we got a drop bracket, well, to a drop bracket. Well, I guess this is a factory mount. Is it a factory mount?
I believe so.
No, this thing's been mounted. Well, anyway, so
yeah,
we got bracket on top.
They do get mounted, don't they?
Bracket on top of a bracket. Yeah, they do mount somewhere over here. So we're gonna kind of scrap this thing and move something a little bit more modern in the front.
It's like an exhibit. Yo, I heard you like brackets.
So we put brackets and brackets and brackets and brackets and brackets.
Insert?
Insert pipe here.
No lube.
No lube.
Run it in dry.
Hang on, hang on.
Line me.
All right, go for it.
Boom.
Boom. So this is the best way to use space here because this is an existing cross member, so we're not adding anything. We're not adding more components that are in the way. So right through it, the strength is still there. This is all going to be welded around. So the only thing that's going to be different, you have some mechanical components from sway bar moving off to the side.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Arthur. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Glad
So
to
where
hear.
we at with this thing?
I got the new body mount in there to give us room for the sway bar arm. And the tube is welded through the frame. Put some jogs in here because it doesn't need it on this side really, but the other side has to clear around the steering box. So this is as low as it's going to go. Pitman arm tells us where to stop, and then when it swings up, clears past the steering box there. So got kind of tight space constraints to work with.
Damn, that's a tight package right there, bro.
Yeah. So it comes with these single shear style ones, but we're not running that. We're gonna do a dual shear setup. So basically a Heim goes in this with some misalignments, and then I'll have to build another bracket down here so it bites it from both sides. A little bit more strength and support, especially when it's getting flexed out. It doesn't want to put as much side load leverage on one tab. They can bend and twist pretty easily. This is what it'll look like right here.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's got some room in there.
Yeah, allows it to misalign while still being supported from both sides of it instead of one side putting more leverage on it than you need.
I see you got the tube welded in the rear.
Yeah, so the old one was too bent,
Yeah.
so we had to get a new bar, which means we had to get new arms because the spline count is different than what he had before. So now we got a Curry anti-rock setup. Here, let me show you. All right, so here's the anti-rock arm. Normally runs a single shear setup like I showed you over there, but his old one already had a nice dual shear setup with some big old fat Heims on the end links. So I took off his plates here to make it double shear, located it through the original hole there. I'm gonna do 2 more holes, bolt that in. That way it'll make it an easy conversion to run the dual shear. He's got his big beefcake end links.
Oh boy, yeah, okay. Sweet.
So it should be an easy conversion in the rear. Stuck the tube in the same spot that I was before. That's pretty straightforward.
Just a refresh in the rear, essentially.
Yeah,
Nice.
brand new setup.
Everyone rejects me, even in my best dreams. And I've come to realize I can see it in your eyes. You're out to get me. Yeah, I know you're out to get me. Everyone rejects me, living in a conspiracy. And I've come to realize I can see it in your eyes. You're out to get me. Yeah, I know you're out to get me. It's not as if I tricked you. You're not thinking you needed me to. And I see I lost the bet. There's nothing I regret. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I said, what is wrong with you? It's not as if I tricked you. Never did get your point of view. And I see I lost the bet. There's nothing I regret. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I said, what is wrong with you?
Well, what?
Whoa.
Oh, bro. I know all about that. I know all about that.
What you know about that?
Real big. Not the fake looking one.
That's good.
You eat it raw?
That was good?
You eat it raw?
Yeah.
Ew, you guys are eating that? You guys are gross. Let me try that.
Weird.
All right, guys, we are all done with the Dirty 30. The sway bars are on. New suspension is in. You got new shocks. We got Shauno here himself going for a little test drive of this thing. But before we do that, let's see underneath this thing and see what we did. Let's pull it in. Other side. I keep forgetting.
Drive side, mate. Yeah. What a rig.
All right. Is it the wrong side or the right side?
It's the right side.
The right side. Yeah. See, well, the lift is on this side, so it's heavy.
It is heavy, eh? The cool thing about it is, if you didn't know what you're looking for, you would hardly even notice it.
Oh, for sure. This is definitely a stealth mod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the initial time, the first time I posted a video about this, I'm explaining, yeah, you see this, it's sleeved inside. Like I had people message me like, what are we looking at? Like,
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on? Like, where's the,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like, is it this or what? So, all right, guys. So you saw the build process of this thing. We ran a sway bar through the frame to make this thing a little bit more stable. So, Sean, tell me the characteristics of this truck. So you recently built this thing. You wheel this thing all over U.S., all over
Yeah.
Australia, but there was room for improvement. So what? Tell me how it was like before.
Well, it torques up quite significantly when you get it on really bad off-cambered angles. And to the point where I put it on its side before. I mean, it's been quite unstable. And when it gets off-cambered, and then especially when you're climbing as well, that's when it tends to really not behave itself. In Moab, we found that in the Rubicon trail. There's so many different tracks around the US. So I just needed more stability in the rig. And this vehicle as well, if it doesn't have a sway bar in it, it's an absolute disaster to drive.
Yeah, it's got a lot of weight going on top. It did have a sway bar factory OEM bar with just some spacers in the back, but it wasn't enough. So this is kind of more of like a modern technology, modern sway bar. This is what kind of very popular, at least here in the United States. I'm sure somebody does this stuff where you guys are at as well, but
yeah, it's not as common in Australia. Like the typical sway bars we run are like the OEM sort of ones.
Okay.
But I find, especially when you extend the links on those sway bars, you tend to rip them off the chassis.
Yeah.
All the mounts break.
Yeah.
And then it nearly happens every trip.
Yeah.
So we just couldn't make it strong enough.
Well, so speaking of links, that's something that really kind of emphasize on is the strength of the mounts. Sway bars take a lot of strength. They take a lot of flex. There's a lot of tension going on there. So we made sure to double shear every single connection. So on the frame, each side, we got a double shear mount as well as the mounts up top. So you can see it kind of splits up top into two. So there's no side-to-side movement. I mean, all the strength, all the flexibility is in the bar itself. So you can see here, this was kind of tricky. We had to work around the coil, around the pin hard mount, but we made it work. So you can see here as well, we got a double shear situation going on.
Yeah.
I'm sure we covered this, but traditionally this comes just as a flat bar. Out of experience, we've bent these before. So now we run this additional gusset just to kind of make this thing strong. So, and now we're talking about earlier, it is kind of a stealth mod because unless you know what you're looking for, it's kind of hard to see, but the bar is ran through the cross member itself, and this is a factory cross member. So the space that's already there, we're not adding anything to it. We're kind of using the space within to make this all the work. So if anything, it's kind of strengthens this whole entire center section. So definitely much more stable. So let's see what we did in the back. Before we go in the back, let me show you your original one. Hang on.
Yeah, that's worth putting on the wall, that one. I bent the absolute heck out of it.
Yeah, so this is the bar. It took a beating, Moab, Rubicon Trail, and then some. It was definitely kind of lived its best life. So, so there should be a bar that, well, this used to go in there. I think we showed it before, but
Yeah,
it won't even, nothing.
yeah, it's pretty bent.
Anyways, this was replaced by Another set from Anti-Rock. So this is a longer setup because the frame is wider in the back. We kind of worked with the original links up front because they were pretty sturdy, so we just kept that. But added additional reinforcement just in case it comes down, you know, some harsh ledges. This will kind of keep it in place. So definitely more stability. On top of everything that we do with the sway bar, we added new shocks. And what was the company that?
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum, okay.
Yeah,
so that's definitely an Australian thing, right?
That's Australian. They're the new remote res shocks as well. So you can adjust the rebound and the compression on them. And so we've got them pretty stiff at the moment, which I think is going to work quite well.
Well, for sure. So the rear end is all done. Let's take this thing for a spin. I'm curious to see your initial impressions.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Let's go for a drive?
Yeah. Righto. Let's give this a go, eh? Which way do you reckon?
Probably left, yeah. So good, the sound.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Nothing like an angry diesel. How good. Yeah, she's a different beast to drive.
This thing screams, man.
Yeah, it goes all right. Man, this is like, the best thing about this is you've got, you know, quite a heavily modified vehicle. You can literally drive with one finger on the steering wheel. It doesn't move around, it sits true. And in corners, it drives like a rally car, you know, for what this thing used to do. It used to be all over the place. So stable.
So these, what are you, the 1HE, what are the engine?
1HD.
1HD.
FTE. So it's probably...
Those are like the go-to diesel.
The Toyota engine of choice. Yeah, the 6-cylinder factory turbo, 24 valve as well. Yeah, they make a stack of power. They're easy to tune. They're really reliable, super tough. Mine's actually, you know, not that tuned, believe it or not. Like it goes well, but because it's got the auto in it, it's got a 5-speed modern auto out of 100 series. We decided to keep the power down a little bit. So it's, you know, it's still making good power, but it's got about 750 Newton meters. And you don't really want to go much more torque than that through these boxes.
What does that translate to for us Americans?
Yeah,
in terms
750 Newton meters.
In terms of foot-pounds of torque. No clue.
Yeah, I have to Google that one, man.
I'll be putting that on the screen.
So in kilowatts, it's probably got about, I think it's about 170 odd kilowatts at the tyres on the 35s. So
yeah, we're like speaking two different languages here.
Yeah, okay. You guys do horsepower?
Yeah, we can do horsepower and torque.
Okay.
Like foot-pounds of torque. It's
horsepower about 250 horsepower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
torque is probably, I'm guessing, in the 300s, then closer to 400 maybe.
Yeah, it's 700 Newton meters, which is quite a lot. Gets up in boogies.
How much do you reckon this thing weighs?
In your language, about 6,000 pounds, I reckon. So, yeah, it's quite heavy. There's no doubt about it. It's a pretty solid little vehicle, but you got to keep in mind it's not just a rock crawler.
For sure.
I can live for like a month at a time out of this thing. It's got everything I need.
All the equipment, all the battery charging equipment. Like
fridge, all
your
your tools, everything like that. We travel with a fair bit of gear, obviously.
Well, so with all that considered, it's actually not that much.
It's not too bad. I've tried to keep it as light as possible, but it is, you know, there's always a compromise.
Oh wow, pretty good turn radius.
Yeah, it steers quite nicely. It's got a GU steering box in it, so a Nissan Patrol steering box.
Beefy one.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger. But don't tell too many people it's got Nissan parts in it.
What do you think? Does it feel different?
Yeah.
It does?
Oh, it's so different, it's not funny. Especially when you put it into a corner, it's amazing how this thing handles. It's just, and I can't wait, like obviously it's on the road at the moment.
Yeah, well, there's not much twisties or anything here, so.
But you can still tell like just how stable it is. It just really nice driver feedback. But I bet you when you get this thing on some proper tracks, that'll be the real sort of telltale sign. See how it goes. I think it'll be so much more stable, and when it's stable, it gives you so much more confidence. You don't get massive big wheel lifts and stuff. It sort of stays planted.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for. A lot of our tracks in Australia are very steep, short, sort of off-cambered things where you've got to commit.
Yeah.
And when you've got a vehicle that wallows around, committing on those sort of tracks is pretty difficult.
I seen how you put it, almost put it on the side at, what was that?
On the Rubicon?
Hell's,
Oh yeah. Which time it doesn't put on the side?
your face was just.
Oh yeah, that's a scary
It was
track.
good.
Woo! Slippy. That's all right.
What happened, Jocko?
Just slipped in.
Yeah, I know that.
It's good stuff, man. That's what you're doing it there for.
Yeah,
You're giving the people entertainment.
mate. Every time I drive, I make people entertained. That's for sure. Doesn't say a lot.
See that guy? Did you see him? He was like totally loving it. He turned around.
He's loving it. I think when people see this car, at first they don't know what it is, but seeing a right-hand drive vehicle in the States as well.
There's that, but they hear it. They hear the whistling from a distance.
A big diesel coming up. How good.
I love the sounds. So good.
Yeah, it's good.
So good.
It's good.
Turbo diesel, you can't beat that.
You can't.
You can't.
You
beat
really
that.
can't.
That's top. That's peak.
Especially a Toyota inline 6.
There it is.
Got to be happy with that.
The good old dirty.
She's looking too clean at the moment. We'll change that. I've got to say, absolutely stoked with the way it drives. But the real test, of course, will be off-road, and that's exactly why we're here. We're going to be taking the Dirty 30 and the whole cruise over at the moment, so we're going to be driving some really cool tracks. In fact, I won't give too much away, but we're going to get on the snow. It's going to be pretty wild, and I'm very excited about that. But you can check it out. If you don't know our channel, it's Full Drive 24/7. Check it out. It'll probably be about a month's time. You get to see our first adventure over here. But so far, absolutely loving it.